Okay, today's lecture is about Thevenin theorem. So Thevenin theorem is one another method to solve complex circuit. इसका फायदा क्या है? The advantage of the theorem is that it simplifies the circuit for you. It separates the element of interest for you, and then you can find out any values related to element of interest, whether that is voltage drop, that is current flowing, that is power dissipated, or uh, inductive or capacitive uh, power consumed. So the thing is, in Thevenin theorem, two things are of critical importance. First one is Thevenin equivalent voltage and Thevenin equivalent impedance. Whenever you are going to solve any circuit with help of Thevenin theorem, you have to find these two quantities, and then you will be able to find out any values in your element of interest. For example, this is a whole circuit diagram. In this whole circuit diagram, the Z impedance is our element of interest. So let's say we have to find out voltage drop across this element of interest impedance Z. So the first step, you will remove the element of interest and you will mark the points A and B. Once you have marked the points A and B, then in second step to find out the voltage drop, the potential at point A and point B. You can do it with help of nodal analysis, and I will recommend you people to use nodal analysis while you are dealing with Thevenin theorem, because it's easy to find out node potential with help of nodal analysis. Once you have found out the Thevenin voltage, then you will proceed towards the next step, which is step number 3. In step number 3, you have to find out the total impedance of the circuit while looking from the point A and point B. To find out the total impedance of the circuit, the reference points will be point A and point B. You will concentrate on point A and point B. These point A and point B will determine the symmetry of the circuit. By symmetry of the circuit, I mean to say that which elements are in series and which elements are in parallel. So you have to concentrate on these 2 points. You do not have to look at the apparent layout of the circuit. You have to take into consideration these 2 points. Once you have found out the Thevenin equivalent impedance, then you can find out any value in your element of interest. How you can do it? You can do that by connecting Thevenin equivalent voltage and Thevenin equivalent impedance in series with your element of interest. And then you can find out any values in this element of interest. You can find out reactive power, you can find out active power, you can find out the current flowing or the voltage drop, you can find out the power factor, anything that you want. Okay, as an example, this theory will get clarified to you before when I move towards example. In this example, there is a network of resistors, capacitor, current sources, and voltage sources, but we are asked to find out the current flowing in this 2 ohm resistor. We have to find out the current in this 2 ohm resistance. So our element of interest is this particular 2 ohm resistance. As first step, we will remove this 2 ohm resistor and we will mark the point A and point B. I have marked the point A and point B. I have removed the element of interest. Now I have to find out the potential at point A and potential of point B. And I will use the nodal analysis for finding out the potential at point A and potential at point B. But in this circuit diagram, I have placed ground over here. So potential at point B is already known, which is equal to 0. I only have to find out the potential at point A. Now, first identify the nodes. Before going for KCL, identify the nodes. How many nodes are in the circuit? Basically, there are only 2 nodes. First node is this one. Second node is this one. So there are only 2 nodes. These 2 nodes are one and same thing because there is no element in between these 2 points. So these 2 nodes are acting as only one node. So I have named this node as V1 and this node as V2. Once I have found the value of V1, value of V1, I will automatically get the value of VA because VA and V1 are one and the same thing. Once you have found out the value of V1 or VA, then you can simply find out VAB. VAB will be equal to VA minus VB. In this case, VB is 0, so VAB will only be equal to VA. I have done the same procedure. In the upcoming steps, I have applied the nodal analysis on node number 1, and I have applied nodal analysis on node number 2. After solving the equations with help of Cramer rule, I have got the value of V1. Value of V1 is actually equal to value of VAB because VB is 0 and VAB is equal to VA minus VB. In this case, VB is 0, equation reduces to only VA, and VA is equal to V1. So you have got the Thevenin equivalent voltage in the first step. In second step, you have to find out Thevenin equivalent impedance. To find out Thevenin equivalent impedance, what you people have to do in this modified circuit, not in the original circuit, but in this modified circuit, you will short circuit any voltage source and you will open circuit any current source in the circuit. In this modified circuit, not in this original circuit, for finding out Thevenin equivalent impedance, you have to take this modified circuit. Once you have short circuited the voltage sources and open circuited the current sources, you will get this diagram. This is a simplified diagram. Now with help of this diagram, you will find out the total impedance, the Thevenin equivalent impedance of the circuit. To find out the Thevenin equivalent impedance of the circuit, you have to concentrate on point A and point B. You do not have to look at the apparent layout of the circuit. If I only look at the apparent layout, by apparent, these two resistors are in series with this capacitor. If I only look at the surface of this circuit, but if I look deep into this circuit, there are two nodes, node A and node B, and with reference to these two nodes, I have to find out the equivalent impedance of the circuit. In this case, these two nodes, because of these two nodes, this 1 ohm resistor is acting in series with this J1 ohm capacitor, while this combination is parallel to this 2 ohm resistor. Why? Because there are two nodes. These all elements are not connected in series, only these two elements are connected in series, and this element is connected in parallel to these two elements. Okay. Uh, I will give you people time to ask any question. Yes.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर जब बीच में कोई नोड होगा तो वो मतलब वो फिर सीरीज कॉम्बिनेशन में नहीं होंगे, पैरेलल में होंगे सर।
हाँ बिल्कुल, देखिए अब ये यहाँ पे जो है ना, these are the two nodes. ओके,
ठीक है सर।
सही है. Let me explain it with help of wait a minute. I am drawing a circuit in paint. It will take 1 or 2 minutes, so wait for me. Is this painting visible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
now, this is the same diagram.
Yes, sir.
This one is the same diagram from the circuit, and I have redrawn it like this. Now you can clearly see that the resistor, 1 ohm resistor, and the capacitor, they are in series, and this 2 ohm is in parallel to this these two elements. Now it is clear to you, people. Hello.
Yes, sir. Clear हो
Okay,
गया.
so this is the importance of nodes. You have to consider the nodes, otherwise you will find out you will miscalculate Thevenin equivalent impedance. You have to consider the nodes. Okay, back to the lecture. Now, uh, equivalent impedance in this particular circuit will be equal to the series combination of 1 minus j1 ohm, 1 minus j1 ohm in parallel to this 2 ohm. This is 2, not 1. I have added a comment over here. This is 2 ohm. So the parallel combination of 2 ohm resistor with series combination of 1 minus j1. This ZAB is Thevenin equivalent impedance. Now we are done with Thevenin theorem. How? We have found out the Thevenin equivalent voltage and we have found out Thevenin equivalent impedance. The only step remaining is to connect back the element of interest. The element of interest that you people remove at start of the solution, we will connect it back, and now we will help of Ohm's law, we can simply find out the current flowing in this circuit. So this is the procedure for Thevenin theorem. The main thing is to find out Thevenin equivalent voltage and Thevenin equivalent impedance. So these are the two important things. The new thing in this lecture is only to find out the impedance. You people are now well familiar with how to find out the voltage at point A and potential at point A and potential at point B with help of node analysis. That is same old method. The only new thing is how to find out the equivalent impedance. Any question from example number 1?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
सर क्वेश्चन ये है कि अगर ये तो सर इस एग्जांपल में जो है हमें सिर्फ एक एलिमेंट के अक्रॉस करंट फाइंड आउट करना था ना सर.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
अगर दो सर्किट एलिमेंट्स के अक्रॉस फाइंड आउट करना हो तो फिर हमें दो बार ये करना पड़ेगा थेवेनिन थ्योरम सर.
Yes, that is the issue. Uh, you have to apply Thevenin theorem twice for that particular circuit. Why? Because the nodes will change. The nodes of interest will change. The element of interest will change. So that's why in the very start of the lecture, I have said that whenever you have to deal with a particular element of interest, then Thevenin theorem is very feasible for that particular element. It extracts the particular element from the circuit and give you a complete analysis of that element. Basically, the Thevenin theorem is for very complex circuits where you want to only analyze the response of a specific component. So there we use Thevenin theorem.
Yes, sir. ठीक है.
But in exam paper, question will not be like this, that you have to apply the Thevenin theorem twice on the same circuit. It will, you people will be asked about different quantities in the same element. And any other question?
सर थेवेनिन थ्योरम जो है इसका स्टेटमेंट क्या है?
या Thevenin theorem का स्टेटमेंट, अब इसका मैं क्या स्टेटमेंट आप लोगों को दूंगा. If you are interested in the statement, you can find out it on Google. I have no particular statement for Thevenin theorem क्योंकि ये अब कोई ऐसा स्पेसिफिक मैं आप कह नहीं सकता कि करंट इनपुट इज इक्वल टू करंट आउटपुट. But I have told you the procedure. If you are interested in the statement, you can Google it out. I will also check it and I will post in the Google Classroom, right?
Yes, sir.
Any other thing? Okay, the first circuit was very easy. We easily found out the Thevenin equivalent impedance. In the upcoming examples, I will concentrate on how to find out Thevenin equivalent impedance. I will not solve the complete circuit because that's the same old procedure how to find out the node potential. We have done it in lecture number 3 and lecture number 4. So in the upcoming examples, I have only concentrated on finding out Thevenin equivalent impedance. Why? Because Thevenin equivalent impedance is new thing for you people. So that's why I have concentrated only on that particular topic. Let's say this is a complex circuit. This is another complex circuit in which the element of interest is this 2 ohm resistor. I have marked it with red pen. So the element of interest is this 2 ohm resistor. In first step, you will remove this element of interest. Okay, and you will mark the point A and point B. Then now in this particular example, point B is grounded, so you only have to find out the potential at point A with the help of nodal analysis. Once you have found out the potential at point A, the Thevenin voltage will be equal to VA minus VB. VB in this case is ground, so the Thevenin will be equal to VA. And that is the easy part. You can do it. Now, coming towards the next part, finding out the Thevenin equivalent impedance, how you can do it. You have to short circuit any voltage source present in the circuit, and you have to open circuit any current source present in the circuit. So in the next step, I have short circuited the voltage sources and then I have open circuited the current sources. So this branch is gone. Why? Because I have open circuited the current source. I have open circuited the current source and I have short circuited the voltage source. Now, in this modified diagram, you can see that this point and this point are one and same thing. This end of the upper circuit can be connected to this end. Why? Because there is no other element between these two. You can see there is no other element. The only element that was the voltage source, I have short circuited it. So this branch can be connected to point A because these are the same point. This is the modified diagram or modified circuit in which I have connected both ends to point A. Now both ends are at one and same point, so there is no potential difference between these two branches. No current will flow in the upper circuit. No current will flow in this circuit because there is no potential difference. So you can remove this circuit. Why? Because this is offering no resistance to the current flow. There is no current flowing, so this is offering no resistance to the current flow. The Thevenin equivalent impedance, sorry, this is not RTH, this is ZTH. The Thevenin equivalent impedance in this case will be equal to series combination of this inductor and resistor. So the Thevenin equivalent impedance in this circuit will be equal to series combination of this in the resistor and inductor, which will be equal to 1 plus J1. This is ZTH, this is not RTH. So now this was a complete complex circuit, but we simplified it. At end of the procedure, we only got this simple circuit, and that is representing the Thevenin equivalent impedance. So this is one scenario. Another scenario how the question may turn out for you people during examination. So you have to take care about finding out the Thevenin equivalent impedance because this is the critical step in Thevenin theorem. If you miscalculate Thevenin equivalent impedance, your question might not be considered as correct. Any question? Should I proceed towards next example or? I think there is no question, so I will proceed towards.
Please proceed, sir.
Okay. I will proceed towards next example. Next example is again, it is more complex than example number 1 and example number 2. Why? Because here we will be dealing with a star and delta. During circuit analysis, you can come across such types of circuits, which is giving you an outlook of bridge circuit. But in this circuit, we have the element of interest is this 2 ohm resistor. I have marked it with red pen. So when you want to solve this circuit with the help of Thevenin theorem, you will remove this element. You remove this element, you will mark the point A and point B, and you find out the Thevenin equivalent voltage at these 2 points. You'll find the potential at point A, you'll find the potential at point B, and the equivalent Thevenin equivalent potential voltage will be equal to VA minus VB. That is the easy part. Now the complex part is how to find out Thevenin equivalent impedance in this circuit. The first step, you will short circuit the voltage source. Okay, I have short circuited the voltage source. Now I have modified this diagram. This diagram and this diagram are one and same thing, but I only have connected this 2 ohm resistor between these 2 points inward in this structure. But this diagram and this diagram, they are one and same thing. You can match these 2 diagrams. There is no difference. Only I have changed the how the elements are connected, the outlook of the circuit. Now in this circuit, we are getting 2 delta networks. This is a delta network and this is again a delta network. So whenever you come across such symmetry, then you cannot find equivalent impedance with help of simple method, series or parallel combination. You have to go for star delta conversion. You have to convert at least one delta network into star network. Either you will convert this delta network into star network, either you will convert this delta network into star network. Now I have chosen this delta network and I will convert this portion of the delta network into star network. This is this 1 ohm resistor, this 2 ohm inductor, and this plus J 1 ohm. Sorry. Okay, sorry. This is 1 ohm resistor. This is 1 ohm resistor. This is 2 ohm resistor. I have misdrawn the inductor. This is not inductor. This is resistor, and this one is inductor. Now I have selected this part of the delta, this delta network, and I will convert it in star configuration. To convert it in a star configuration, you will connect 3 resistances, 3 impedances in star fashion inside this delta network. This is the delta network. I have picked this network and I have connected 3 impedances in star fashion. How you can connect 3 impedances in star fashion? You will connect one side of the impedance to one end of the delta network and the other side of the impedance will be connected to a common point. This is how you can connect 3 impedances in star fashion inside a delta network. I know the value of Z1, I know the value of Z2, I know the value of Z3, but at the moment I do not know about the value of ZB, ZA, ZC. What are ZA, B and ZC? ZC, ZA, ZB and ZC are the impedance of the star network. We will transform the Z1, Z2 and Z3 to ZA, ZB and ZC. How we can do that? For example, this is a delta network which I have drawn with blue pen, Z1, Z2 and Z3. These 3 impedances are making a delta network. Now to convert this delta network into a star network, you will select 3 star impedances. Let's say ZA, ZB and ZC. You will connect those 3 star impedances in star fashion inside this delta network. How you can connect that those 3 impedances in star fashion? One end of star impedance will be connected to one corner of the delta network. The other end of the impedance will be connected to a common point. See, I have done the same procedure with all 3 star impedances. Now how you can find out the value of ZA, ZB, and ZC. To find out the value of ZA, you will consider the corner side of ZA, not the common side, the corner side of ZA. The corner side of ZA is connected with Z1 and Z3. It is directly connected with Z1 and Z3. So to find out value of ZA, you will take phasor multiplication of Z1 and Z3, and you will divide it with the phasor sum of all the impedances of the delta network. This is how you can find out the value of ZA. Any one of you might ask the questions that how I derive this equation. So there is a lengthy derivation which is not our uh, part of interest. So I have skipped those derivation. Instead, I have told you people how you can remember this formula. To remember this formula is very easy. You will select the star impedance and you will check the corner impedances of the delta network. In the numerator, there will be multiplication of the corner impedances of the delta network, and in division, there will be an addition of all the delta impedances. This is how you can find out the value of ZA, ZB, and ZC. G, any question?
Sir, can we change the arrangement of ZA, ZB, and ZC in this star connection?
Yes, 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 yes. It's up to you people. You can change the naming of ZA, ZB, and ZC. Even you can change the name of Z1, Z2, and Z3. It's completely up to you people. But then these formulas will change accordingly. Okay, you have to take care of that. Do you understood? Any other question? Okay. Now, once you have B and ZC, I have not calculated them. You can calculate them. So you will replace this part of the network, the delta network, with the star configuration. You replace this part of the network with help of this star configuration that you people draw, that you people had already drawn inside the delta network. You will pick the star network and you will connect it with these 2 points, and you will remove this delta network. This is the diagram you people will get. Now, in this diagram, finding out the total impedance, the Thevenin equivalent impedance is very easy. This is the reference point, the two nodes, these are the reference point. Above this reference point, ZB and 1 ohm are in series. Below this reference point, ZC and minus J1 are in series, but this series combination is in parallel to this series combination. First, you will find out the series combination of this branch and this branch, and then you will take the parallel combination of these two branches. I have written the same thing over here. The equivalent, Thevenin equivalent impedance in this case will be equal to the parallel combination of these two branches in series with ZA. You will take the parallel combination and that will be in series with ZA. That will give you ZTH, Thevenin equivalent impedance. Okay, any question?
Yes, sir.
जी सुशांत
सर आपने ये जो दो डेल्टा कनेक्शन ली है ना सर, अगर इसके बीच में ये सर्किट रजिस्टर ना हो सर 2 ओहम का सर, तो तब भी ये डेल्टा कनेक्शन ही
हाँ
होगा या नहीं होगा?
नहीं फिर तो डेल्टा कनेक्शन ही नहीं होगा ना, फिर तो सिमिलर एक पैरेलल कनेक्शन बन जाएगा उसमें। फिर ये दो, लेट मी कॉपी इट टू पेंट, वहां पे आपको अच्छे से समझ आ जाएगा। If you look over here, I have removed the resistance which was in the middle of the circuit. You can see. Hello.
यस सर ठीक होगी
See now in this particular example, there is no element. These two are in series with one another. These two resistances and these two are in series with one another. This capacitor and inductor, and the equivalent impedance in this circuit will be equal to the parallel combination of the upper series branch and the lower series branch. There will be no delta. All right.
यस सर
Okay. Now, at start of the lecture, I told you all that whenever you want to solve the Thevenin theorem, prefer to use nodal analysis because it's easy to find out the node potential with help of nodal analysis. But in last example, I have solved a question for you all with the help of KVL just to show you people that how much things can get complex with help of KVL. Although the result will be fine, but you might commit some mistakes while solving the Thevenin theorem with help of KVL. Now in this particular circuit, this is our element of interest. We have to find out the potential drop across this 4 ohm resistor. So I have removed the 4 ohm resistor. In first step, I have assigned the loop currents to both loops. This is one loop and this one is other loop. In loop number 1, current is known because I have a current source. The current in loop number 1 is 10 ampere. And I have applied KVL on the second loop. I have got the value of I2. Now, this was the easy part. Now coming towards Thevenin equivalent voltage. This is, we have to find out the Thevenin equivalent voltage across these 2 points. So to find out Thevenin equivalent voltage, you can either select the upper part of the circuit or you can select lower part of the circuit, because these 2 points are parallel to both upper part of the circuit also to the lower part of the circuit. The potential drops across these 2 points or the potential drop across these 2 points will be equal to VAB. So you can select either the upper part of the circuit or you can select the lower part of the circuit. I have solved it with both. First, I have selected the upper part of the circuit. When you consider the upper part of the circuit, you will not change the current directions. The currents I1 and I2 will remain the same. They will not change. So I have supposed the same I2 in this resistor and in this resistor, and the direction of I1 is also same. So when you solve this particular rule, you will get this equation. The one which I have written, there will be no voltage rise because of the current I2. The VTH will be acting as voltage drop. So there will be no voltage rise. There will be only 3 drops. With help of this equation, you can find out the Thevenin equivalent voltage. Now, in lower part of the circuit, the current I2 is flowing in this direction. Okay, and this is creating a voltage rise at VTH. So to find out the VTH, I have applied the loop analysis. There is only one current flowing in this inductor, so I have written I2 into minus J, while 2 currents are flowing in this inductor. So I have written I1 plus I2 into plus J. Only one current is flowing in capacitor and 2 currents are flowing in inductor. Whether you take the upper part of the circuit or lower part of the circuit, result will remain the same. The Thevenin equivalent voltage will be 10 angle 90. So things can get complex when you want to solve it with help of uh, loop analysis. So I will advise you people to uh, not to use loop analysis while you are solving Thevenin, while you are solving a circuit with help of Thevenin theorem. It's better to use nodal analysis. Okay. Now we have found Thevenin equivalent voltage. Next step is to find out Thevenin equivalent impedance. So to find out Thevenin equivalent impedance, you will short circuit any voltage source present in the circuit. There is no voltage source in the circuit. There is only one current source. So I will open circuit it. I open circuited the current source. Now this resistor is ineffective. Why? Because no current is flowing in this resistor. There is an open circuit. I will remove this resistor. This portion. I have redrawn as this one. Now you will find out Thevenin equivalent impedance with the help of these two branches. This 1 and 1 ohm resistor are in series with one another, and this inductor and this capacitor, they are also in series. But in this case, this plus J and minus J are giving us equivalent resistance of 0. So for this particular circuit, the Thevenin impedance is 0. In this circuit, there will be no Thevenin impedance. You have found the value of Thevenin equivalent voltage. You will connect the element of interest back in the circuit with ZTH equal to 0, and then you can find out the voltage drop across this 4 ohm resistor. Voltage drop across this 4 ohm resistor will be same as the voltage rise, because there is no other element in the circuit. There is only a voltage source and a resistor. So that drop is equal to 10 angle 90. G, any question?
एक्सक्यूज मी सर, प्लीज ये वाला लेक्चर सर
हाँ जी।
अपलोड कर दे, और दूसरा सर 6 मिनट और
सर ये इम्पीडेंस 2 ओम।
एक मिनट, पहले हसन आप बात कर लें, फिर उसामा मैं आपको मौका देता हूँ। सही है जी हसन, कंप्लीट करें अपनी बात।
सर ये वाला लेक्चर अपलोड कर दे। वो दूसरा सर मैंने देखा है, उसमें 6 मिनट और 20 सेकंड में सर वो आवाज़ ख़राब हो जाती है उसके बाद।
एक मिनट, मैं जरा देख लूँ वहाँ पे कि ये अपलोडिंग में मसला हुआ है या वीडियो में मेरे साथ कोई इशू है। मैं जरा चेक कर लेता हूँ। Yes, there is issue. Yes, there is issue at 6 minutes and 20 seconds. There is issue, but anyhow, that is a very smart portion. I will also upload this recording. No worry. जी उसामा, आपको कोई क्वेश्चन था?
क्वेश्चन ये था कि थेवेनिन इंपेडेंस सर यहाँ पर 2 नहीं होगा सर?
देखिए
सर नीचे वाले
this will
हो जाएंगे, ऊपर
ये
वाला 1 + 1 2 हो जाएगा सर।
this will be 1 + 1 2, right? But there will be a short circuit over here. There will be no impedance. The impedance in this lower branch will be 0. So you will take parallel combination of the both. The parallel combination of both will come out to be 0. You do not have to consider only the upper branch. You have to take this lower part of the circuit. समझिए आप? There will be a short circuit over here. There will be zero impedance.
Yes, sir.
If any current is flowing in this branch, it will follow the zero impedance path. It will not flow in these 2 ohm resistances. It will follow the short circuit path or the zero impedance path. So these 2 resistances will not provide any resistance to the circuit or to the flow of the current. So that's why ZTH in this case is 0.
यस सर।
If there is no other case, end the meeting. चलें, okay, see you all in next lecture. Allah Hafiz.